Welcome to Torah Andalus. This is going to be class 69 on the Golden Doves, page 35. I have to say it again, this is a very difficult subject. This is one of the most difficult parts of the entire book, although it is not the most difficult part, actually more difficult parts. Um, well worth the effort because this is going to give you the ability to understand Torah not in terms of Western thinking, but in terms of Jewish thinking. That's something that unfortunately is becoming a rarity, which is to say, because of the thousands of years of the Galut, Jews, in many cases, have allowed Gentile thinking to permeate their thought patterns, and we no longer think as Jews. And oftentimes when we study Torah, we decode the Torah based upon Gentile norms, based upon Gentile structures, based upon Gentile ideas, right? But Judaism is to be decoded. The Torah is to be decoded in terms of Jewish thinking, right? And Jewish ideas. So it's so important to make the effort and understand what we're teaching, right? So page 35, thought and experience may also be organized in terms of successive synthesis and auditory perception. So when you think, right, and when you experience something, you can organize your thoughts and your experience in terms of the auditory. So for example, you can close your eyes and you can listen to the things around you, right? You can listen to a beautiful piece of a beautiful musical composition, right? Right? So that's one type of perception, which is different than, for example, looking at the sky, right? On a non-changing sky, for example, right? Reality is sequential. Now, the truth be said, the reality that we experience as human beings is a sequential reality, because even if you're looking at the sky, it's always moving, right? So to organize thought and experience in terms of sequence is actually not an artificial imposition upon the external reality, but it actually reflects how the external reality manifests itself to our mind sequentially. There is a fundamental timeness permeating the entire gamut of physical and intellectual phenomena, right? So all phenomena, everything that takes place in the world takes place on the time axis, and you need to be able to organize your thinking on the time axis. Just a simple example, but it may be overly simple. Biden is president, the price of gas went up, and the price of gas went up, and then went up, and then it came down. So the Biden will take credit, the price of gas just went down, right? So the price of gas just went down, that's great, right? So, but when you organize things sequentially, you understand, well, hold on. First, the price was really low, then it went up, then it went up, then it went up, then it went up, and then it went down a little. But the price of gas is fundamentally higher, right? But you need to be able to organize things sequentially. So an unintelligent person will, the price of gas went down, that's great. That's a great accomplishment, right? But when you organize things on the time axis, right, then you say, well, perhaps it's not such a great accomplishment. Again, I'm not trying to be political. I'm just trying to explain what sequential thinking is about. And oftentimes when people try to obfuscate the truth, they try to take away the time axis, and by taking away the time axis, you can obfuscate the truth. In its incipient primeval state, creation is excited and dynamic, right? So what's great about creation, that is bara Elohim, is that there's things happening, right? And when things happen, when things are dynamic, by definition, it's on the time axis, right? Chaos is the ground of reality. Now, the early Bereshit bara Elohim. So before God created, there was nothing. So put the nothingness on the side. God creates. Bereshit bara Elohim. The earliest point of this post-creation world, right, or the created world, is chaos, right? That's why it says ve'ha'aretz hayeta tohu vavo. That's chaos. The stability and order present in the universe are the effect of direct intervention. So the earliest point of chaos, right, is transformed into order. So to transform the chaos into order, you need to have a creator, right? Or divine intervention, right? There's something intervening. Let's don't even call it a creator. Something, put God on the side. Something intervened to take the chaos and turn it into order, right? As David Nieto would have put it, everybody is in a state, everybody is in a state of erratic motion, unless compelled to persevere in a state of rest or of uniform motion by forces impressed thereon. So, if I take a ball and I just throw it, and it bounces off the walls and goes up and down and sideways, and okay, so there's erratic motion. If I take a bunch of balls, I take 1,000 balls and I drop them from a plane, and they're flying all over the place. Some are going up by the wind, some are going down, some are hitting the ground, some are bouncing off things, right? That's erratic motion. But in order for something to have a uniform motion, right? Suddenly you see the ball going in a straight line, in a curve, as a parabola, perhaps, right? Or for the ball to suddenly stop, right? Something has to compel the ball to go in that non-erratic motion, or to stop. Thus, the Hebrews did not cease to wonder at the ordinary. For Am Yisrael, we always found the ordinary to be amazing. Right? Ordinary, order. So ordered state is ordinary. We found that to be amazing, right? And again, I'm amazed how people are not amazed, right? I don't know, you may have seen some of my Instagram videos where I speak about the world that God created. I was recently in the desert, and it's just amazing. The order in the desert is remarkable. I was in the Sonoran Desert in Arizona. It's incredible. I mean, what put that state of order? What made it, right? So we Jews always, we're in awe and amazement at the ordinary. The order and stability present in the universe were wonderful and bewildering, right? Why does the earth go so perfectly around the sun? Why is the axis of the earth tilted so perfectly so as to create the seasons? Why do we have these amazing cycles and systems in the earth's atmosphere and in the earth's ocean, which somehow together create a climate which allows human beings to live, right? So this seems ordinary, right? That's incredible for us, right? I will praise you, said the psalmist, because I was frightfully bewildered. Your acts are bewildering, and that my soul knows well. Please give me a moment. I want to find the pasuk in the book of Tehillim, so I can read it to you in Hebrew. And if she yodat me'od, but I want to read the entire. If you have the book of Tehillim, you're welcome to open it. It's Perek 139, Chof Lamed Tet, and towards the end of the Perek, or the middle, it says as follows. I'm going to read to you the pasuk. It says, Odecha al ki noraot nifleti. Right? I will praise you. Odecha means praise, to praise God or to thank God. Right? Because I was frightfully bewildered. Noraot nifleti. Right? I find these creations to be awe-inspiring. Right? Niflaim ma'asecha. Your actions, ordinary actions in the world, are just incredible. V'nafshi Yodaat me'od, and my soul has experienced this fully, right? And I've contemplated this carefully. Then if you're that milk, again, go out to the world, see the order in the world that God created. It's really incredible. Right? Something as ordinary as rain is in fact more bewildering than the greatest wonders. Even rain, we say Mashiv Haruach because it's Umori the Geshem, because it really is wondrous. Rabbi Abu taught, the day of rain is greater than the day of resurrection. We all say, there's going to be Tehiyat Metim. Rain is an incredible thing. How the Earth's hydro system is so perfectly attuned to allow for incredible amounts of rain in places where you need rain, and there are these cycles where, for example, maybe you won't have rain for a year or two in the desert, or suddenly there's a flash flood, just enough for the cactus to absorb the water and to live for another 2-3 years till the next flash flood, right? On the other hand, places which require a lot of rain have great amounts of rain. Then there's different types of cycles, larger cycles, and all these larger cycles somehow allow for life to subsist on the planet in a perfect way, right? So Mashiv Ruach, Umori the Geshem, is an incredible thing. The Amidah, silent prayer, includes a statement that God blows the wind and pours the rain. In the section about the resurrection of the dead, right? So the perfect meteorological systems on Earth are as amazing to us as Tehiyat Metim. And the slightest dissonance can suddenly change the whole atmospheric system, right? You have these different blocking systems, you have different oscillations. So for example, right now we're in a La Nina year, right? And it's creating a kink in the jet stream, which is bringing huge amounts of Pacific moisture to California, unbelievable amounts of rain and snow in the mountains, which had a cyclical drought, because there are cycles, right? So now the drought is going to be ending soon. But at the same time, let's say on the east coast of the United States, the same kink in the jet stream that's bringing unbelievable amounts of moisture and cold and snow in the western half of the United States is bringing one of the most mildest winters we've ever known, with a few exceptions, and no snow. It hasn't even snowed this year here in New York, right? So you see that there's a perfectly tuned system, and the slightest variation, suddenly everything goes haywire. The ordinary is nothing other than a constant act of creativity. So why do we have these perfect systems? The systems can go more than just a little off, they can go a lot off. Why? They're not going a lot off. Why is it not more destructive? Because God is creating. And when God creates, God brings order. So if you see order in the world and everything works perfectly, that's God creating. Okay. He who renews every day continuously the act of creation, is declared daily at the end of the first blessing preceding the morning Shema. Before we say Shema Yisrael, we think about God's creations and how God is creating and how God brings order to the world every single day. Why is the sun so perfectly, why does the sun suddenly, explode on the earth or something? Or just, there should be, nuclear explosions beyond it. The whole sun is one giant nuclear fusion machine, right? Which incredible amounts of energy. Why is it so perfectly tuned? I mean, there should be some variations, fluctuation, and there are, but not fluctuations that would destroy the earth, right? The same belief was expressed by Nehemiah, who declared, "You have made the heavens of the heavens, and all that they contain, the earth, and all that is therein. You give life to them all, and the hosts of heaven bow to you." I want to read to you the pasuk. I like reading these pasukim in the Hebrew text as well. So for those of you who are following, this is Nehemiah Perek Tet pasuk. Just one moment. Perek Tet pasuk Yod. Right? Pasuk says, um, hmm, one second, I might be, let me see, Nehemiah, Perek Tet, Pasuk Yod, it should be Ata'asit et Hashamayim, yeah, it's Pasuk Vav. Atau Adonai levadecha, Ata'asit et Hashamayim, Shemei Hashamayim, you created the heavens, then there's the heavens above the heavens. V'chol sevam, there are the hosts. Ha'ares, v'chol asher alea, the earth and all that is on the earth. Hayamim, the oceans, v'chol asher bahem. Ve'atam yahayeh et kulam, you bring life to everything. So you notice how all these systems intertwine and are aligned like a perfectly made Swiss clock, which has different, widgets and different, circles and different sizes, and somehow everything is perfectly aligned and attuned. That's the world we live in. And yet the Goyim take this for, it's evolution, whatever that even means, or it's Mother Nature. I don't know why Mother Nature is better than just saying God, right? But of course, by Mother Nature, they don't mean what we think about God as we think of a creator outside the world, but still, meaning they substitute the idea of God with these primitive mythological ideas, right? The active participle from mehayeh, ata mehayeh et kulam. What does ata mehayeh et kulam? You give life. What does it mean? Now you're giving life. Expresses a constant act of bestowing life by God on His creation. God is always giving life to the world by aligning everything and making sure that all the widgets continue to turn in the right way. Maimonides, similarly, using the active participle form, declared at the beginning of the Mishneh Torah that to acknowledge that He gives existence to all that which exists is the most fundamental of all axioms and the pillar of all sciences. Harambam says, Yesod HaYesodot ve'amud HaChochmot nida sheyesh sham, and he refers to God as Mamsi, or yesh sham Mamsi, shehu Mamsi kol nimsa, sheyesh sham Masui, shehu Mamsi kol nimsa. So what God exists and is Mamsi. He brings existence, not He brought existence in the past. Now, Mamsi, like Mehayeh, God brings existence now to all that exists. Right? Like all serial data, reality may be variously processed into certain well-defined artificial structures involving hierarchical and syntactical organization. I'm going to stop here and begin this in the next class.